Hey guys, I'm at 40 weeks. Today is officially my due date, and the baby's not here yet. This has been a week of ups and downs for me, emotionally and mentally. Let's start with the symptoms that I've had this week, and then what I'm using to keep myself in a positive and stable mood. I have been up and down emotionally. 1 minute I'm upset and crying and frustrated because I just want my baby here, and the next minute I'm feeling calm and peaceful and keep reminding myself that he is going to be here at some point when he decides, and I'm trying to just enjoy every little minute that Mike and I have together as a childless couple, because that is never going to happen again. So I'm trying to remind myself when I start to feel frustrated or stressed out or anxious that these are the last few precious moments we have as just the two of us. And so that has helped a little bit kind of keep me sane this week. Neither one of us have really been sleeping all that well this week. Both of us are, like I said, anxious and ready for him to be here. But I've really been having a hard time sleeping because not only am I having all these emotional ups and downs, but I'm also really uncomfortable. The reason I'm so uncomfortable is that I'm having a lot of hip pain, which, while it's uncomfortable, is a good thing because that means that my hips are spreading out and getting ready to birth my baby. And I've also been having a lot of cramping. There's no rhythmic pattern to any of my cramps, so they're not any sort of contractions that are leading me to believe that he's on his way. They're just kind of constant cramping pain that I've been having all week long. So I just keep reminding myself that as uncomfortable as they are, the stronger they are, the better they are. So I'm kind of encouraging the cramping to continue happening because I need that. I need those cramps, I need those contractions to start and to hopefully get things going. The most uncomfortable feeling I've had this week is the leg pain. I mentioned it a little bit in last week's video that I was having some weird leg pain. So what it is nerve pain in my leg because of how low the baby is sitting, which is a good thing. Where he's positioned is he's sitting on nerves that are connected to my legs, and so anytime he moves or shifts around, he kind of hits a nerve that just completely throws my leg out. And if I'm walking when it happens, I have to stop. I can't walk. It hurts so bad. And I have to just stop and just close my eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, and wait until it passes. So nerve pain is really uncomfortable because there's nothing you can do about it. It's not a muscle pain at all. It is a nerve pain, and there is a big difference. My belly has been really hard all week, which again is a good thing, goes along with all the cramping that I've been having. A little interesting fact, I was talking to my mom about one of the spots on my belly that is more painful than other spots for whatever reason. And she actually had the same spot on her belly that was more painful when she was pregnant with me. So I thought that was a little interesting. It's up to the right side of my belly button. That area, about the size of my hand, about the size of the palm of my hand, is the most painful little area, whereas the rest of my belly just feels tight. But this one spot is just like a concentrated ball of pain. So that's a little interesting, and I found it interesting that my mom had the same experience in the same exact spot. My hips have been pretty sore, mostly at nighttime when I'm sleeping. I think because I'm laying on them, and also if I sit in a hard chair, my hips are really uncomfortable. So I've been sitting in my yoga ball, which I'm sitting on right now, and that helps a lot with my hip pain. And I've also been bouncing a lot, trying to bounce this kid out because apparently that's supposed to help. But I've been trying not to sit in hard chairs because they're really uncomfortable. So I've kept my birthing ball or my yoga ball out, and I have been using it a lot because it really helps keep me more comfortable and helps with all the hip pain. Mike and I have been walking a lot this week. You'll see in the vlogs that I've been going to the mall, walking around, doing some window shopping, and while it's really tough, after like 15-20 minutes, I am just so sore and all I want to do is sit down. But it's such a good thing for me to do. So I've been really trying to walk, take wide steps if I can, and just help get things moving. Yesterday, we walked around the mall for about 2 hours, which was a very long time for me. And I did take a couple of breaks to just sit down and relax, which I needed because my feet start to hurt so much when we're walking around. But when I get home after doing all that walking, I soak in a nice bathtub full of Epsom salt, and that really helps not only ease the pain in my feet, but just kind of relax me and put me in a more centered space mentally. My weekly doctor appointment went really well. He checked me again, and once again he said that my cervix is continuing to soften. It's softer this week than it was last week, so that's good. That means I'm progressing. Unfortunately, I am not dilated at all, so I'll probably go into this next week and probably have the baby later in the week. I don't really know. That's up to my body, up to my baby. I have no idea when he's coming. And also the baby is definitely head down, which he has been for the last couple of weeks. Some things that I'm using to keep myself in a centered and positive state of mind is hypnobirthing and positive pregnancy affirmations. Shout out to the family member that lent me all that stuff, because I can tell you honestly that without that stuff, I would be an anxious, crazy, neurotic wreck right now. There are so many positive pregnancy affirmations out there, and there's so many that are read during the CD that I listen to, but these are 3 of my favorites. What you dwell upon most will come to pass. That's something that I'm trying to keep in mind, so I'm not letting any negative thoughts in, or trying not to. Like I said, it's been a week of up and downs, but whatever you dwell upon is what will come to pass. So I'm trying to focus on all the positive and all the positive energy that I can absorb, and just keep myself centered and calm and relaxed, because that will really help me. Babies are born on their birthdays, not when doctors decide. I really liked that quote because it reminded me that my body and my baby knows what's happening. My baby knows when he wants to be born. My body knows when it's time to give birth. And my doctor did mention discussing induction options at our last appointment. And so that quote really resonated with me, because I would prefer that my body go into labor naturally. If he goes way too over, or if there's a medical reason that we need to induce, then I'm absolutely open to it. But I would really prefer for my body to, go into labor naturally. So I really liked that quote because it reminded me that my body knows what to do, and I'm confident that my body is just going to let things happen, and I'm gonna just be okay with all that. The last quote goes along with that one as well. My body gives birth in its own perfect time. Just like the last quote, that reminds me that my body knows when it's time to give birth. So I'm just going to relax and be confident that my body and my baby know what they're doing. Hypnobirthing techniques also teach you about keeping what's called a bubble of peace around you. So you visualize this bubble of peace around you, and you only allow positive thoughts, positive energy, positive people into your bubble of peace. And anything that's negative or makes you feel upset or makes you feel anxious, or any of the down feelings that I've had this week, bounce off that bubble of peace and float away. So I'm trying to keep that bubble of peace around me at all times, because it really helps me feel better, feel more confident in myself, and remember that, again, my body knows what it's doing. Part of my bubble of peace for me is keeping my phone on silent. As well-intentioned as everybody is, I have been starting to get so many texts and phone calls of well-intentioned people who keep wondering, is the baby here yet? And as frustrated as I am that he's not here, that doesn't help. And I know that they have good intentions in asking, but at the same time, that is the wrong thing to say to a pregnant woman who is past what is considered her due date, which I call a guess date because that sounds more positive. But that's not the right thing to say to somebody who's already in a state of mind where she wants her baby here. So if you are somebody watching that you sent me a text and I ignored you, it's not because I'm mad at you. It's because I'm trying to stay in a positive and centered place mentally, and you're not helping. So this week I'm going to focus on listening to my positive pregnancy affirmations, staying centered, staying positive, and not letting any of the negative energy, comments, or anything that doesn't make me feel good and positive and confident about myself bounce off of my bubble of peace and go away, because I want to stay relaxed and confident that my body and my baby knows exactly what they're doing. And I know that he will be here so soon, and I can't wait. But like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm gonna enjoy the last couple of days that Mike and I have as just the two of us. Cross your fingers for me and send me all the positive baby vibes that you have. Hopefully he will be here this week. That's what I'm really, really hoping for. I can't wait to meet him. I will see you guys next week. Bye.